What's up everyone, it's Brandon with Crypto Canadian. Today's video we're going to talk about China banning cryptocurrency and Bitcoin once again. And we're going to talk about Twitter and what they've opened up for tipping payments on the Bitcoin Lightning Network. There's a lot of bullish and bearish things going on in the markets right now, so let's get into it. So we almost prospered here at the beginning of September. We made it above that 50,000 mark again. We were headed in the right direction, but manipulation and things that have happened within the markets have caused it to go down and prolong this bullish activity into bearish territory. So as you guys can see, the Bitcoin golden cross was very close to happening here on my chart, the 200 versus 50-day moving average. Got rejected here around the middle of end of September here. And this has to do with the Evergrande stuff going on with their real estate market, and how it affects cryptocurrency is very direct, as well as the China FUD that's happening once again, which still seems to affect a lot of people. It's one of those things that's going to cause to shake out the weak hands as this market moves forward before we make that big step up that's incoming in October, I think. So Evergrande is a Chinese real estate company. They claim they have $300 billion in debt to pay back. They're not doing very well right now, and it's affecting the Chinese stock exchange as well as our stock markets and crypto markets. It's just a really bad thing for the whole world economy. And seems like they have missed their interest payment, which you're supposed to be getting. They're not talking right now, so we're not too sure which direction that's headed in. There's a lot of talk that the Chinese government will bail them out. So there is hopes that this will kind of get swept under the rug. We'll see how far that goes, but this caused a lot of that dumping that's been happening here since the beginning of September. And this morning, causing the other red candle would be the China declares all cryptocurrency transactions illegal. So they are implementing the digital yuan still. So they're trying to really crack down and tell people to stop using other cryptocurrencies and saying that it's technically illegal. So this is causing more FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the crypto space, and it's causing a lot of problems with Bitcoin. And I think it's whales manipulating the market when this news comes out, or if this is created news as well, just to cause people to sell before this next leg up in this bull run. That's what I think is happening right now. So if you are investing, don't get scared by this kind of stuff. There's going to be a lot of this happening. The markets are extremely volatile right now, especially in September. So just keep that in mind. Just keep strong hands during these moments. I think there's a lot of good things to come here. Enough of the bearish news. Let's talk about the good news. We got a lot of bullish activity happening here. Yesterday, Twitter announced enabling tipping with Bitcoin. And also they want to plan to let users authenticate NFTs through Twitter. So a lot of people are using NFTs for their profile pictures, and now Twitter can authenticate those. So you can't just screenshot it, put it on your profile. You can actually have authentication saying, yes, you own that on the blockchain. So both of these things are very bullish for the whole space. Jack Dorsey has a bigger plan for cryptocurrency, and he really wants it to get things moving. So this is a big step for crypto, in my opinion. A lot of people use Twitter. If you have an internet connection, you have Twitter, you can transfer wealth from one another. It's pretty crazy what he's doing actually. So this is a very good thing for the crypto space. So here's a video that I retweeted on Twitter. Michael Saylor shared this. This is Jack Mallers. He's the owner or co-founder of Strike, which has to do with the Twitter Bitcoin tipping that's going on. And Michael Saylor says, here's the future of global payments, which I can't agree more. This is the first step, but go ahead and watch this video if you haven't. This guy actually sends Bitcoin to a guy in El Salvador from Chicago in a matter of seconds. It's pretty cool and unreal to see. I think this stuff is getting a little crazy and underrated at this point. Really happy and bullish about this stuff. So check out this video on my Twitter that I retweeted. So currently you can only download the Strike app, I believe, on iOS. It will be coming to Android, but all you need to do is set up your Lightning Moon wallet through the Strike app, and you can send Bitcoin payments through Twitter, which is crazy. And this is all cross-border payments. Doesn't matter where you're sending it. Normal central banks, you can't send money on weekends. And when you do send money cross borders, it costs a lot of money. This is very minimal payments. So this is a step in the right direction for decentralization, letting you transfer wealth without losing a bunch of it and what you've worked hard for. So I think this is a big step in the right direction. I think Jack Dorsey is onto some crazy stuff here. I'm glad he supports cryptocurrency and he believes in Bitcoin quite a bit. I think they will be adding Ethereum as well on top of Bitcoin as far as transferring crypto. So that's, I think, coming in the future as well. So even though the markets are really red right now, I do see a lot of bullish activity, news, and momentum coming in the next month or so here. There is talks about a Bitcoin ETF opening up, actually multiple of them opening up in the United States. If this was to happen, I think billions to trillions of dollars would flow into Bitcoin. A lot of investors have their eye on this right now. They're just waiting for things, I think, to get a little more environmentally friendly. So there is a chance that this might not happen very soon. But if it did, we could expect some big movement and a lot of bullish momentum pushing us forward here. So I also want to talk about Bitcoin's supply shock that's happening right now. So essentially what's happening is people are buying and holding Bitcoin to the point where there's not much in circulation. So in turn, this will increase the price. So here I have Will Clemente. He said, this wave of Bitcoin supply shock has the most momentum of any in recent history. We're going much higher in the coming months. This was in August, but I think this is all still happening and it's increasing as we go along here. So here we have the different supply shocks that happened and the run-ups afterwards. So this is Bitcoin's illiquid supply RSI. So these are at the points where there's the least amount of Bitcoin in circulation. And then you can see shortly after the massive increases that happened. So this is one increase. There's been another supply shock happening right here. So we are due for an upward trend past this, which I think will make new all-time highs in the coming months. I think this is very bullish. So I do want to talk about leverage trading a little bit. There are people who leverage trade. So this means that they predict that the price of Bitcoin is going to go up. So this would be leveraging long, or they were saying that the price is going to go down and they will short the market. So basically what's happening right now, in my opinion, is we are holding around that $44,000 mark, which is known as on the leverage trading platforms as the max pain price. This is where the most longs and shorts will actually get wrecked. So the longer it stays at $44,000, the more these people lose money, and it's the most profitable for these exchanges and stuff like that allow leverage trading. So I think that's why we're sitting around that 44,000 and seeing a lot of volatility in September. I think it's just setting up for ruining these leveraged traders, and I advise everyone never to leverage trade. It is extremely dumb in cryptocurrency. It might work out sometimes, but you will lose more money than you will make. Do not leverage trade. The whales have way too much control of the market, and I believe they might be intertwined with different exchanges, and the more people they wreck, the more money these exchanges make. So I think these whales really control the market in their favor, and they will steal your money. So I always just buy and I hold and I wait for the opportunities. When there is dips, I do dollar cost average and I buy, and when it's going up, take profits on the way up, and that's how things go. But don't leverage trade. I do not advise it. So we've been sitting around that $44,000 mark roughly for a good part of September, I feel like, and this is a max pain price, so people are feeling this one. I also wanted to talk about the fear and greed index on the crypto markets. So this is just an indicator that tells you the fear versus greed index. Right now we're at 33, which is fear. So people are fearful in the market, which means there's a lot of selling and down price action. So in my opinion, when people are fearful is the best time to buy, and when people are greedy is the best time to sell. So this indicator helps me along the way kind of determine what I'm going to do if I do decide to sell cryptocurrency, or if I want to buy dips. Whenever this fear indicator is very in the red, in the low here, it is a good buying opportunity. And when we are in the green and we're greedy and things have been green for too long, there is going to be a correction. So it's always not a bad time to sell. This can change depending on different times of the market, but as we sit right now, this helps a lot. So keep an eye and use this tool to help you guys. Other thing I wanted to talk about, which has been overlooked, I think, it was talked about, I think, once majorly, is the Bitcoin Taproot upgrade. So Bitcoin just got its first makeover in the last 4 years, and it's called a Taproot upgrade. And this has been approved by all the miners who operate on the network. So they all agreed to this to happen. And I think it's very bullish for Bitcoin. and it's due to be effective in November. So the timing of this is great as well. So when this news drops and this gets implemented, this will affect the Bitcoin price. It's going to give smart contracts on the Bitcoin network. So this will give it a lot of more interoperability like Ethereum has, but to Bitcoin. So I'm seeing a lot of changes with Twitter happening and everything with Bitcoin recently, the Lightning Network and Taproot happening. It's giving a lot more utility to Bitcoin, which people talk about as a storage of wealth, but now it's actually being used as a transfer of that storage of wealth as well. It's interesting to see what's going to happen with Bitcoin, but I believe this is very bullish. So keep this in mind as well. This happening in November near the end of the more bullish months of Q4, this could be a very good thing. So there is a lot of uncertainty in the world right now due to the fourth wave of the pandemic upon us, as well as all the global debt that's happening, which corresponds to COVID-19. So things are a little uncertain, but I feel like things are going to move in the direction it's supposed to. And with cryptocurrency in the bull run, it's going to go upwards, I think, in Q4, in my opinion, not financial advice. But also, there is a lot of FUD that goes on. You got to turn your head to that stuff. You can't pay attention to the fake news. There's a lot of stuff that's going to drive the market as low as they can so whales can load their bags. And you need to pay attention to this stuff, and that's when you need to buy. If you're going to get into the market, you want to enter, you want a dollar cost average, these are the times to buy. So we are entering Q4 for the last period of this bull cycle. This is always the most bullish period for the overall crypto markets. So I do think right now we're seeing a volatility squeeze to the downside to shake out the weak hands before a massive move upwards. And when this massive move happens, people are going to FOMO in and get wrecked. It's important not to do that, not to FOMO in on those higher numbers. So remove emotions from it. And when these numbers are low, it's a great entry point into the markets. We have a long ways to go, I think, as well as on the way up, take your profits so you're not getting wrecked. You can't time top and bottom, so don't forget that. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen for this last period here, you guys. I'm glad you're here to witness it with me. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys like this video. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.